Man, I didn't realize Arlen had such a DreamWorks face.
That's smirk.
She's got the eyebrow.
I don't know
Well,
of many DreamWorks characters that have like the claw scar over their eye. That's
they're
like
work they're
the
working on it.
that's the like I'm a cool like JRPG protagonist scar sort of thing,
It's
right?
in the Ratchet and Clank movie. That's basically a DreamWorks movie, right? I
Probably. I'm gonna say yeah.
yeah. I mean, even if it isn't, which I don't think it is.
No, I don't. It's Sony because Sony is the likely company to be doing that, seeing as it's a game on the PS4. Um, but yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I heard
Magic.
that movie sucks.
I don't know. I think I'm under oath to see it. I don't know. I don't know if I'm under oath or close to under oath. But I guess we'll have to talk to Luke about that.
Well, you'll have to see what happens.
Basically, basically we found it in a movie listings and we were just blown the fuck away because we didn't know that Ratchet and Clank was getting like a reboot or whatever.
Apparently, nobody knew about the movie. Like Chip Cheesem was how I found out about it. Like
Yeah.
4 days before the movie came out, and I was like,
See,
"What?"
I found out about it. So there was a month ago. Uh, like we were sitting on like Luke's porch, and we were sitting there thinking like, oh well, what movies do we want to like go see? And it's like, oh, there's a couple we're interested in, but like, so I just went ahead and on my phone pulled up like list of every movie coming out in the next month and a half, and like we got to the end of April and we're like, I'm sorry, Ratchet and Clank, is this lying to me? What's going on here? Why am I being lied to by this app? It confirmed, no, that's freaking real.
Well, you see, it had been like several years since the Ratchet and Clank game had come out, so of course it's time to make a movie.
Yeah, I guess
Uh,
so. You need to have your franchise. It's all about the franchises.
gotta have a franchise. We gotta have our content.
Gotta have our TV show and our toys and our mobile app. If you don't have a mobile app, you're dead.
Yeah, they need a mobile app. What kind of mobile app game can we make with Ratchet and Clank where you watch bars fill up?
All right.
That's what we need.
We
Oh yeah,
did
people are here, so we can play the
Oh,
damn
good,
Pro
good
Tour
people,
comp
good,
now.
good people are here. All right. I was just waiting for people to show up. All right.
Don't you love auto tweet being dead?
No,
Thanks, Twitch.
I manually made that like 2 minutes before the stream started. So I
Yeah,
did. I look.
it seems like with the auto tweet days, they would just show up though. I don't know what the difference is. What's wrong with you people?
I don't know. I don't get it. The thing.
Ratchet's not a cat. He's like a weasel or
It's
something.
it's it got Lombax.
That's what they're called.
I'm
It's
gonna say
basically a
I'm gonna
weasel.
say Lombax. All
He's
right,
a lambada.
man. I haven't played a Ratchet and Clank game for a long time, but I freaking loved the ones on the PS2. They were cool. This
It
is
was a
not a Ratchet and
PS2
Clank
game.
game, though.
This is not. This is a Pro Tour Gauntlet.
This is something entirely different.
This is
Um,
8 different decks in top eight.
yeah. So this is the gauntlet, much like we had before with the last Pro Tour. They took a number of decks from that were the top showing decks at the Pro Tour Shadows over Innistrad. The top 8 decks, because there were 8 different decks in top 8, plus 5 more that went 8 and 2 in the Swiss rounds, and the players may have likely did much worse in the draft rounds, even though their constructed decks were great. Um, and so there's 13 total different decks that I can be given. Though a couple of them kind of overlap. There's multiple different types of ramp decks. There's multiple like kind of like white agro humans deck. Yeah, this is much like that modern thing I did 3 months ago.
Yeah, except
Um,
you won't be seeing any infinite combos. We're in the realm of standard,
so
which is
these are
much
the
more.
I've linked the lists, the deck lists for the decks. I'm not as familiar with all of these as I was with the modern decks because modern decks are old. These are
Yeah, modern decks they tend to get tweaked, but when a new deck shows up, it's like a big thing in modern.
yeah.
But whereas in standard, we have a very
Standard.
thriving, very varied standard format now, which is actually strange considering the last standard season,
Yeah,
which sort of got homogenized very quickly.
the formats still get homogenized and the best decks come up, but right now what we see is like that the standard format looks very much more open.
Yeah, very vivid.
There's a lot of cards that from pre
Oh,
Shadows over Innistrad that are like kind of still standard like pillars of the format in a sense.
yeah, like
Um,
there's like Collected Company, and
yeah.
you have all the cards that go with that.
So we get to see what deck we get handed first, and once
Come on,
this
I know you're
loads,
hoping for Finkel.
I know I'm all right. It
I'm
looks
hoping
like
for Moto to
no,
crash.
no. It looks like we've got looks like we're LSV today.
Hey!
Check out this 4x blister pod in a standard deck.
No, no, look at that 4X Loam
Loam
Dryad in
Dryad.
a standard deck. Yeah, you want to
Okay.
like cite those for Uvenwald Mysteries right now.
No, no, I kind of want to keep this as is, at least at the start. There's nothing
Yeah,
immediately I
nothing.
want in. Like, our on our sideboard, we have a lot of like a number of 4X's ultimate price and transgress for specific matchups.
Interaction.
We have
We have our
Tyler's Tracker
flashback.
for Tyler's Tracker is for like the grinding out advantage games, kind of like Udenwald Mysteries.
Those are both grindy decks. Fleshbag Marauder is a trick because it is a creature to flip off Coco.
Well, not only that, but it's a way to kill hexproof threats. Like if I'm playing against the Esper Dragons list, like it's my only way to kill an untapped Ojutai.
Yeah.
And then Kalitas comes in against this deck itself because this deck has a lot of trouble operating with Zulaport Cutthroat when there's a ley line
Yeah,
on you.
because when Zulaport Cutthroat doesn't trigger, then
So to quickly explain the deck that I'm playing here, this is known as Green Black Aristocrats. It was piloted by LSV at the Pro Tour to pretty good success in making it into top 8. The way this deck works is effectively the interaction between, like, these are the two big cards, Zulaport Cutthroat and Nantuko Husk. Nantuko Husk being a free sack outlet, Zulaport Cutthroat being whenever a creature you control dies, drain life for 1. We use cards like Catacomb Sifter, Elvish Visionary, Blister Pod to give us creatures over and over again, along
and
with
we use Cryptolith Right and Loam Dryad to sort of quickly get up to 4 or 5 mana
we
to be
also
able to
have
cast
this
these.
important land, which operates as a backup sack outlet and a like a sort of like an out of nowhere kill. This is a take on the. This is a sort of an evolution. Rally the Ancestors rotated from the format, and this is the Rally the Ancestors was a deck that used the Zulaport Cutthroat engine to get through things. This is kind of an evolution of that. Duskwatch Recruiter operates as like our refill.
Yeah, way to draw cards.
Especially with the
Occasionally
right.
could beat your opponent to death with a 3/3,
Yeah,
but
I mean,
unlikely.
Cryptolith Right with the Duskwatch Recruiter is pretty gas.
Yeah, where you can tap the recruiter to actually activate its ability,
And
that sort of
then
thing.
Liliana has the like, okay, I can Nantuko Husk sack a Elvish Visionary, flip Liliana -2, get the Elvish Visionary back, etc. So that's the deck in a nutshell. We're gonna
How
see
many times can Blister Pod die?
we'll see how this functions in play. I've not played Rally or this deck, but I've watched it played, and I'm familiar with its ancestor. The reason it's called Green Black Aristocrats, I had this conversation off camera, is because there was a deck back in Standard with Return to Rav and Innistrad called the Aristocrats, which was
It's Cartel Aristocrat and Falconwrath Aristocrat. This is a hand we cannot keep.
This is a mulligan and a fucking half.
If it had a forest, it would still be bad.
This is still a mulligan and a half, right? Like there's like I could keep this and try to scry to a land. Am I on the play? No, I'm on the draw. That's risky as all hell to try to keep this, but if I do Loam Dryad into Zulaport Cutthroat and a Catacomb Sifter and like try
Yeah,
to
that can dig you out, but we lose if we don't get the land.
so but I'm on
We're
three
playing Swiss,
cards.
right?
Yeah, I was gonna say we're on 3 cards to see the land, and seeing the land means we're okay. A bit funky though. I'm gonna try it just to see how this functions. Elvish Visionary to the bottom, thank you.
Ah, man, that's sad to see.
I know. Like, we have both colors at least. The land is likely gonna come to play tapped on me too. Shambling Vent, that likely puts our opponent on some sort of like Esper control list.
Seems likely.
Would be my best guess.
What do we got?
Oh, that functions.
Yeah, that is basically a land. Funnily enough, you can tap the Blister Pod when it's summoning sick to Loam Dryad. We're back to
Yeah.
Springleaf Drum, baby.
Yeah, heck yeah. Yeah, this is likely some sort of Esper control. Which means I don't think they'd like pull the trigger on a kill spell on a Loam Dryad of all things, because that's a low value target in a world of high value targets.
Sunken Hollow revealed to Choked Estuary.
Yeah,
Duels upon duels.
yeah, this doesn't say basic Islander Swamp, you just show a Islander Swamp. This leaves up Clash of Wills for 1. Let's go ahead and see if they'll waste it. Alright, so I'm expecting End Step to get, like, owned by a kill spell because I've shown him on 1 land.
You're shown around 1 land.
However, I have 3 Zulaport Cutthroats.
Yeah, if we can find a land, we can get there. We do have to find a land, though.
So which type of Esper controls our opponent on is the question. There's 2 different types in the top. There was a Dragons-based deck and a... Hey, it's Port Town.
Hey, I don't know the Port Town music, but I know the... You should reveal the Sunken Hollow. Okay.
I know the Port Town music. It's good.
I mostly don't like Mute City.
I've had it stuck in my head for a while since seeing that card.
Okay,
All
here
right.
we go.
This is bad. I'm being punished for my greed. That's fine. So then the question becomes, what are the key cards I need to sideboard in this matchup?
If we want interaction, there's Transgress the Mind.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, was Transgress.
If he wanted to, like, grind out one of our grind out cards.
I believe...
That's a odd choice.
No, it's not. You know what they're untapping with, right?
Oh, they're gonna languish?
Okay.
Okay.
They are gonna languish. This is 4th land languish, right? Port Town revealing Sunken Hollow, languish. And knock me like 6 years back in time. Yep.
Hey!
So we get 3 triggers, anyway.
Land! Yeah!
Alright.
I need lands to live. Still need more lands, though.
I know. I want that Catacomb Sifter and Nantuko Husk down.
Sifter especially. What do you got for us? Obnix?
Oh, Ojutai. Alright.
They're revealed.
Alright, let's go Husk first. Because I can resolve it.
We can resolve it, and if we can,
like if I can get Catacomb Sifter down,
yeah, that'll help a lot.
The big problem is Ojutai connecting is just the worst.
Yeah, free impulse from the government.
Yep. So don't F6. Now that I have Husk on the board, don't F6.
Yeah, so that if he goes to target,
yeah,
he can eat things. Nantuko Husk can eat himself.
Important.
Mm-hmm.
Howdy. Yeah, this isn't the best of matchups. From what I remember, this I believe was the top 8 matchup that LSV played. Let's see if we can resolve spells. So, Catacomb Sifter.
No way, Clash of Wills.
Or not Clash of... Oh, maybe it is Clash of Wills. I'm going to say they're hard counter, too. They have the Silumgar's Scorn. Okay, so Clash of Wills 2. Yeah, I can't pay that.
In we come. In for 2.
Yeah. I wanted that Catacomb Sifter resolved tried pre-combat because it makes the attack much more of a threat.
Yeah, it means that Nantuko Husk could hit for something like 8.
Well, yeah, because I actually would have gone for a lethal strike, to be honest.
Yeah, Nantuko Husk is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
And then
Opponent loses 3 life.
Well, no, I would have been able to play Zulaport Cutthroat number 2 off of the Catacomb Sifter.
Oh, right, yeah.
Transgress, so goodbye Nantuko House number 2.
It's not as bad.
But Jace's flipping is a bit more of an issue. That means that he has access to some, powerful cards left over. Okay, I'm going to play the second Zulaport Cutthroat here pre-combat. I'm guessing we're getting hit by a counterspell. Because it's hard for me to... Yeah, it's hard for our opponent not to have gas with what they've hit me with Dragonlord Ojutai twice now. Mm-hmm. It'd be very difficult for our opponent not to just have the way to gas out over me. Foul Tongue Invocation. Okay. I guess I'm probably sinking Zulaport Cutthroat to that.
Yeah, Zulaport number 1.
Yeah. Because I need Husk in order to, I need both pieces to function. I could get rid of if I got rid of the Husk, then I'm...
If you have Husk eat both your creatures, he doesn't gain the life.
He does, target player. The target doesn't go away.
Oh well. Right, yeah, you could just cast it to... I think we get rid of the Cutthroat because we have the other Enforcer.
Yeah, I'm just thinking out how that plays out. I'm out Husk. What is my way? Honestly, my way out in this match has been gone for a while.
We're basically out here because this is effectively a counter spell to Zulaport Enforcer. I keep saying Zulaport Enforcer.
I know, same here. I will continue to say that basically every time I see the card. So, and then I'm going to attack with Nantuko Husk, but it won't matter. He'll block with Jace and then flip Jace. Yep, so that blocks the attack. Jace now has Languish, which he won't cast because of Dragonlord Ojutai. But more importantly, it's another Foul Tongue Invocation.
Or, Grasp of Darkness.
Yeah, both work just fine. I can avoid death, sort of.
By eating your own creatures.
Well, he can activate the Shambling Vents and get in for 7 next turn if I don't have a board, but...
We do have our own manland. What's the body on ours? I don't actually know.
2/2 Death Touch. 3 to activate.
So, these tiny little manlands. So we're crushed, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, I decided to take a gamble that was in my favor because it was a 3-turn clock to draw 1 land out of a 54 card deck and lost. So,
yeah.
I went for the gamble and was shown that I was wrong for it. Yeah, that's fine. I'm not going to do anything about that. Anyway, I am dead on the next attack. Yeah, okay, let's move on.
Okay, so any sideboarding to make? Do we want Transgress the Mind, or do we want to just try to do what we do but better?
I definitely want... I'm thinking...
do you want Fleshbag Marauder?
I want the one Fleshbag. And I guess what do we not want would be a more realistic question. And I don't know what's
bad here because all of our stuff just sort of works. It can't be any of the Enforcers and it can't be the Nantuko Husk.
Yeah, I don't feel like it's going to be Liliana or Collected Company either because Collected Company is a card that allows me to sneak out of.
Maybe one of our rights.
Maybe
or a Duskwatch Recruiter.
Because I am not. I'm thinking a couple Transgresses as well because I'd like some way to interact. I don't want to cut a Recruiter. I feel like that's important to be able to restock. Maybe it's like something like Blister Pod or Gloam Dryad.
I think Lone Dryad's the weaker of the two,
Gloam Dryad
especially.
does allow for like being a fake mana dork starts.
Yeah, I suppose. I just feel like it's the weaker of the cards.
Well, I mean that game had very little to do with the matchup and a lot more to do with like a one land hand that needed the second land just not panning out after three draw steps or
Hmm.
three cards, which happens. I'm gonna go with like Elvish Visionary, a Loam Dryad, and a Blister Pod. I don't know. I'm certain I'm wrong, and I'm
How
sure
about
that
do we need three Cryptolithorites, or do we want those over like a sack creature? Like either of the Lone Dryad or the Blister Pod.
yeah. Let's keep a Loam Dryad. Let's do this.
It's a little funky, but I think it works.
I don't know. I want to see a hand that has more than one land starting, which means now that I've said that, we get a six land opener that I have to mulligan. So
No, no,
let's
no. We're going to get a sweet curve.
keep.
Ain't I a stinker?
It's like
This is odd. Do we lead with the dork? I think we do.
I was
Our
gonna say
tap line is going to be a bit.
I don't think the tap land matters at all. Like the tap.
Oh, right, because the Duskwatch Recruiter can tap for mana, it doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
it literally doesn't stop us in any way.
Hey, hey. No Avenger in.
Yeah, because like next, if he has no spell too, the Dutch Watch Recruiter flips. Yeah, so Jace. Okay.
That's fine.
Okay. I'm not able to get that down this turn, and I feel like what Husk is the better thing to have immediately because I'd want Liliana in play after I have the Husk in play.
Yeah, we can do something like feed the Dryad to the Husk.
Well, the Dryad's a lot less important when I have a Cryptolith, right?
Hmm. We also might draw land.
Okay, so immediate looting, which tells me our opponent's in a like we have a
Being a
fat we have quite a fast start here. And like,
Ooh, they're discarding land.
okay, what's the follow up? Transgress. Okay, so that's either Liliana or Coco gone.
Hard to say which one, though. I guess Coco's the more powerful card in terms of advantage, but Liliana is like a more immediate threat. Oh, they picked Coco.
Okay, so I'm going to Choked Estuary.
Anything on one mana in this? No, okay. I don't think there's any one mana things going around. I can look.
I don't think in that deck. All right, I can actually drop all of these this turn, but I don't want to. I think what I'm going to do is use. Do I want to use Cryptolith right, or do I just want to? Okay, I think what I'm going to do is. Let's see, I have a. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 6, 8,
Trying to lethal.
10, 12, 14, 16, 17, 18, 19. Ah, no, I don't have the mana for that. I am a mana short of lethal.
If the mana short of lethal flips Lily,
No, it involves Liliana flipping. Okay,
okay.
so
Then that might be a safe play into a wrath, is what I'm saying.
anyway, I'm gonna play Liliana into this, flip Liliana immediately, get back the Blister Pod, and try to get in for massive damage. Because the way this works is actually, do I have lethal?
Because the blister pod makes extra guys.
Okay, so I tap. So I've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. I guess let's do the whole thing first.
Yeah, I think it comes to 18, doesn't it? Or does it go to 20? I remember doing this in Rise of the Eldrazi Limited.
Okay, so we do this. Nantuko Husk sacrifices Blister Pod. We get a 2/2 from Liliana, which is important too. I'm -1 on Liliana to get back the
Blister Pod.
So then I've got 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16 damage. How much of that do I just want right now?
Importantly, if he does just go untap Languish, we can like eat guys to make Nantuko Husk live through it.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think how much do I want to commit to an attack right now. Because like I have 6 on the attack. Like, do
Blister Pod's free to eat. Whether you want to eat the Scions or not, I guess, is the question.
I think I'm going to hit in for high damage here. Not super high damage, but high. So
let's achieve high damage.
So we'll go this in, and then so we sack Eldrazi Scion. We sack Zombie Token. We sack. I don't think I sack anything else. Maybe Loam Dryad.
Maybe Loam Dryad.
I'm gonna sack Loam Dryad as well. Okay, so this is 12, and this lets me live through a Languish by sacking the Blister Pod and such. And then I'll get it back, and Jace won't be in play anymore. All right, okay. So let's do it that way.
Mathematics. Is this definitely a Rise of Eldrazi thing? Where's our Pawn of Ulamog at?
Yeah, right. Where's my pawn? Why am I not playing the Skull? It's because it costs 4 mana.
Yeah, because it's a 4 mana 4/3. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, opponents.
All right.
See 7 cards.
Like, they could have spot removal for Husk, but the thing is that spot removal that's like -4/-4 fails to function.
Yeah, Grasp of Darkness doesn't work.
I'm guessing just a chump block, and I guess, do I get to flip my Duskwash Recruit? That's fine. I don't want...
You want to draw cards in response, or...?
Yeah, kinda. Let's try to find some real cards in response to that ability, because my hand is dead as hell. Let's go grab Catacomb Sifter. You're good. You give me a team.
Land's okay here.
All right.
Do we want to use Lily now while we have priority?
Yeah, I'm thinking, like, do I just want to get back Loam Dryad, or, like, do I want to sack the Blister Pod and do...
Could also just... I don't think we want to... We have no reason to plus.
Like, plus is each player discards, so that would, like, I discard Cryptolith right.
Mm-hmm. That would just be...
I'd be okay with that. Actually, that might just be fine, because that puts Liliana on 4, which is a lot better able to, like, recur something that matters.
Yeah, that seems fine.
And I'm not getting in for lethal, like Nantuko Husk isn't going to connect here. Let's go ahead and have each player discard. So funky.
Her face gets cut off in the
Wow. Because, like, I obviously can't even connect with Nantuko Husks, so, like, there's no...
Nantuko Husk is going to...
So let's discard Cryptolith Right, and our opponent's going to... hopefully he'll get some... This might flip the Jace. That might have been... I might have wanted to do this post-combat. Yeah, that might have wanted to be a post-combat maneuver. Because I think I just flipped the Jace.
He's got spot removal?
He's got Grasp of Darkness.
Does that work?
Yeah. That's why I'm not going to do anything. You first.
I mean, we can just hit you for 5.
Yeah, I'll put you on 2. I'm a deck that has Zulaport Cutthroat. I will put you on 2. Okay, ultimate price. So he wanted...
Okay, that works. Yeah.
That works too. I can't do anything about that. Though...
Liliana can now bring back a Husk. When it goes to 3, play... Do we want to... Yeah, we play land. We could draw Coco, we play land.
I was going to say, I have no reason to hold lands back in this deck.
Like, we're not going to plus Liliana again.
Okay, off blue. They didn't loot with Jace last turn.
Wonder why. Did they forget, or did they like the cards in their hand? Or do they not want to flip Jace yet?
It might be that third one is actually the thought process I'm thinking. Obnix. Well, that's going to be destroy target creature, I tell you what.
Destroy target, 3/3.
Yeah, you're destroying their Growling Owl Hoarder. Okay. So if I draw a Zulaport Cutthroat, the game ends. Okay, so do I want to go Elvish Visionary into...
Elvish Visionary could find land, could get Catacomb Sifter, but that's, like, greedy. But it could also find, like, Zulaport Enforcer.
Zulaport wins the game immediately.
So we have many good things to draw.
Yeah, let's do it this way. Give me a card.
Okay, game.
I mean...
We bring back Nantuko Husk. Nantuko Husk eats our board, our opponent dies.
Yeah. Like...
Okay.
Anyway, that was effectively the combo kill, you know? Give me an always yield to that. And then the last creature is anything.
It eats itself.
Okay. Whew.
Seems pretty good.
That went well.
Any changes to make?
It's kind of funky because Transgress is only hitting like the top end that I don't care like
That we kind of want to sneak under.
well, like it hits it doesn't stop removal spells, you know. It doesn't.
It doesn't stop removal. Well, if we wanted to stop removal spells, that'd be like what? Uvenwald Mysteries.
I don't think that does. Like, that's not even really what I want to do.
I guess we could like go into Tracker and try to just have a large creature.
I'm gonna do that. Bring back in the. I'm just gonna have one Transgress in, and we'll have out one Cryptolith Right and the one Visionary.
Fleshback Marauder.
Yes, we're playing. Yeah, we had a. I'm not gonna call that game one greedy.
No, it was calculated risk.
Like in the sense of I know what the odds were, and the odds were higher. Anytime the odds are better than 50-50, I'm gonna call them just fine. This hand's just fine. Speaking of which,
Yeah, this hand's pretty good.
I get to turn my creature into an actual mana dork.
Your creature's a double mana dork.
Ha.
I really like this mana dork.
Ha.
Do we do that instead? Or do we just get the right out now?
I'm gonna get the write down.
Let's us play Loam Dryad.
Yeah, unless he Silumgar Scorns it. Which I'd be okay with, because Silumgar Scorn would be a counterspell not on one of my key cards. Which I think he's... Like, he left up double blue, and I'm assuming he's thinking about doing. Yep.
There it comes.
Yeah, because it's 4 spike, and I don't have a second creature. I could have done that the other way, but it doesn't actually prevent that. Like, he can Silumgar Scorn that no matter which direction I do things, but this prevents me from casting my dude. Like,
Still attack for 1.
Nah, I'll forget all about that and pass. Because my plan, I did the plan backwards and assumed that this was going to be tapped. Let's do this plan correctly now, instead of doing the bad plan where I mess it up. So... I'm really happy about Silumgar Scorn being used on a card that isn't, you know, like a Collected Company or something like that, though.
Which looks like it might be happening soon.
Yeah, it definitely could happen. Like, if my opponent...
Blister Pod's free mana, like...
Yes, Blister Pod's flat free. Swamp revealed, so 4 real cards in our opponent's hand.
He's gonna damn this. Nope, Kalitas.
Okay.
Problematic.
A bit of a issue. Do I want to Coco, like, flat into that?
Looking for a fleshy.
Yeah, the real way you beat Kalitas is you just go over the top with a Nantuko Husk.
I think force Kalitas to block a Nantuko Husk, and
I am gonna main phase it and see if it works.
Yeah, while he's tapped.
Yeah. Alright. Zulport Cutthroat doesn't function, that's fine.
Well, he sacks the Nantuko Husk just fine.
Right.
Yeah, we're 1-1.
Yeah, Kalitas is one of the more powerful cards that does a huge number on this deck. Okay, he's
That's the card I was expecting.
I wasn't expecting to just, like, flat aggressive play out of our opponent, you know?
Well, I was thinking of, like, what was the worst thing he could have on 5, and this is it.
Well, that's the only thing, right? Like...
Yeah.
Okay, kind of want to get that Recruiter down. Kind of want to get Catacomb Sifter down, too.
Well, Catacomb Sifter doesn't work, right?
Yeah, it works on the tokens, like the if I sack the Eldrazi spawn, I'll be able to scry 1, but that's it.
We have 5 mana. We could play both.
Yeah, I could play both, or I could play the Dustwatch Recruiter, but now the problem is now that, like, the plan of, like, finding Fleshbag doesn't function as well because it doesn't actually get Kalitas off the board.
It does kill Dragon Lord Ojutai, though, which is sort of a bigger problem.
I think that, well, I disagree. I think they're, like...
Okay, we fail to win with Kalitas. We lose to Dragon Lord Ojutai. Like, we can beat Kalitas in combat.
Right. The current issue is going to be keeping Nantuko Husk on the board.
Mm-hmm.
So that, sack this creature. We get an actual Zulport Cutthroat trigger after I pay the rest of this. So Zulport Cutthroat trigger, and we get the Scry 1. Yeah.
But on top. I'm glad we didn't activate Duskwatch Recruiter.
Yeah. Alright. So now I have a Nantuko Husk threat. Yeah, the token doesn't, like, technically disappear. And I'm not attacking because throwing a creature would make Kalitas much more of an issue. So anyway, we're taking 5. And then he's going to go find a removal spell for Nantuko Husk. The other issue is that like if I try to go for like a husking out Kalitas, like
He
any
responds to the removal spell.
well,
Yeah.
well, well, like also every time I sack a creature to an Antuco Husk, bad things happen. Like
Yeah.
I cannot understate how much this card kicks our ass.
Yeah. Like worst case scenario is we block and sack. He gets a 2/2. He grasps his Arctis or guys, so we have to sack 2 more guys, and then he like goes with the ultimate price, and we just lose.
Right.
Best case scenario is he bricks and loses the combat.
I don't think our opponent's a deck that breaks very much.
I know, but it happens. I'm shrugging right now.
Right, like I was gonna say, I feel pretty confident our opponent isn't sitting on bricks. People that hit you with Dragonlord Ojutai aren't sitting on blank cardboard, sadly. If our opponent had a Languished Land, he pretty much loses. I mean, he wins because he gets a billion tokens. Yes, he loses in the sense that I finally get Kalitas off the table, and I would like Collected Company afterwards. And I would still have a Nantuko Husk. So yeah, he wins, actually. Yeah, so what, 7/1/1s? That's 7/2/2s?
That's pretty good, yeah.
Yeah. Actually, no, it wouldn't work. The problem, like, languishing against me wouldn't function, because if he languishes...
You eat all your guys in
I eat all my guys
response.
first, and then...
He gets a zombie. Or 2 zombies, I guess.
Oh. He let it through. No fucking way, no way.
Nah, no way.
Sorry, asshole. Kalitas activation is 3. Like, if he languished there, he would lose the game, so that's why he didn't. On 7 mana, he can do it a lot more.
So we hold up Coco.
Yeah, I'm gonna try Coco. It's my refill. Now he's able to make that play you're talking about. But he still loses all the 2/2 tokens. So... Kalitas ain't that good. Kalitas is strong, but not that strong. Okay, so again, Dragonlord Ojutai connects, so I'm in a world of pain. I don't even care about the 5 damage part. Like, yeah, I'm losing the game to the card, but I'm losing the game to the card because I know my opponent's hand contains good cards.
I'm having a good feeling. I think we're going to pull through. I think you're being a grumpy Gus.
I don't know what the hell game you're watching.
I'm watching a game where
like,
we're going to crush our freaking opponent.
Our opponent literally has the card that beats us in the matchup on the board, along with like 2 other cards that completely crush us in this matchup.
See, you got to think outside of the situation. Nantuko Husk is dying.
Yeah, rip in 1,000 pieces.
And he's holding up Counterspell, but it doesn't matter. Everything's gonna come up Millhouse.
You're aware there isn't like... there is a specific card I want to see out of this.
Mm-hmm.
It's a land, actually. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Anyway, go ahead and Silumgar Scorn this. You can't Clash of Wills this. It has to be...
He's got Clash for 2.
No, he doesn't. He's got...
Clash for... I mean for 2 mana.
Yeah,
like...
so he has to Silumgar Scorn.
Okay.
Basically, I need to top deck Westvale Abbey.
Westvale Abbey would be pretty okay.
That's literally... I'm going to make the same play I made last turn.
But play a Catacomb Sifter, play a Nantuko Husk.
Or, yeah, 2 turns ago, yeah.
This time we get two Scry 1s, though.
Huh?
Because we have 2 Catacomb Sifters in play.
Yes, we get 2 Scry 1s. Alright. From that. We also get a Zulaport Cutthroat trigger.
Maybe precious.
Alright, so I really need to find Westvale Abbey. That ain't it. Also ain't. Funny, but it ain't it. Okay. Would Ormondal even do it? Ormondal's the only card I can think of that has any effect, like, at this point. That looked like a husk for a little bit.
That did look like an Antuka husk for a little while.
By the way, our opponent's drawing a lot of cards this round with Read the Bones and Obnix.
They're bricks. Also, he's going to minus
Also,
2. That's -3.
Minus
okay.
3.
I thought it was -2.
You're living in a different game than I am.
You don't gotta talk down to me, Jens. I'm being optimistic. It's fine. What could possibly go wrong?
Everything already has.
Exactly. What more could go wrong? Answer: nothing. Answer: our opponent is damaging themselves.
Yeah, we're not, like, killing them, though.
Listen.
Like, we're not. Like, it ain't happening.
Don't worry about that. Let me worry about the details, okay?
Like, quite literally, Ormondal is the card that gets us out of it, but you know what the side effect of Ormondal is?
What?
5/2/2s appear on my opponent's side of the board.
Yeah.
Alright.
I don't see the problem. I mean, we have to do it now, right? For the lifelink.
Yeah. So there's 5 zombies on that side. At least the zombies I block with Catacomb Sifters. I hit my opponent for 9. They go down to... I don't know if I connected with an Antuco Husk, that would be enough too, but I don't think the Husk actually has the ability to attack. God. The power of Kalidas. Yeah, I think you're right that we have to do it now. We sack leftmost creatures. We get a 9/7 lifelink flying. This has a lot of text on it. Haste, which is pretty funny. So I leave Husk, leave Zulaport Cutthroat, leave Catacomb Sifter back. There's 5 zombies. I'm doing math on like what the crackback looks like. That's all I'm doing the math on right now. 5 zombies. That's 6 zombies plus. Like, I'm obviously going to do Ormondal, but I'm Ormondal doesn't have 17 damage, buddy.
It'll totally do 17 damage, Jens. Actually, no, it'll do 18 damage, because it'll attack once, then it'll attack twice, and we win the game. Okay, our opponent's going to forget to block.
5 in the air puts me on 8, so that's only 4 of... Okay,
well,
so we're still dead.
You could do it in response to block Ujitai, but what does that do?
Yeah, I don't... Screw it. This isn't gonna work.
This is game 3.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, this game ends in 1 turn, bud. I appreciate your enthusiasm about it, but this game literally ends in 1 turn.
I know what our sideboard needed.
Hmm.
Like plains and a declaration in stone.
All right. So ultimate price. Yep. Which that's enough to just be game right there on the board.
Hmm.
Not to mention he has another destroy target creature.
But this is our worst matchup with a good sideboard by our opponent. Relatively like
Well,
poor draws. Our first game was kind of a lavo. Everything out from here smooth sailing, right?
well, the biggest issue is that like Kalitas continues to exist, and there's nothing we can do about that. Like, it ain't like this is the only deck with Kalitas. It's
No,
actually
no.
all.
Everything else is going to be like non-black. It's going to be fine. There's no rest in peace in this format. I mean, other than Kalitas.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm glad I at least drew the Ormondal at that time, but like the again, like that's just the power of this crackback. There's nothing I can do about it.
Tokens would have been in like a deck I'd been okay to be, because I like making O1 plants. Yeah, Cletus is in the sideboard for the mirror, yeah.
Yes, it's in the sideboard for the mirror. Though it obviously doesn't do anything in that specific matchup other than be like a 3/4 lifelinker with no real text. Board an ultimate price to hit Kalitas. I could, but like that's really I don't know if that's correct.
Well,
It
yeah.
might be like
It might have been correct, but
well here's the big problem with boarding an ultimate price to kill Kalitas. Kalitas is quite literally the only card in his deck. Like I'm sorry, Jace dies to it too.
yeah,
Um,
Jace dies to it and Cletus dies to it. Like we had Transgress, which also gets Cletus, but we never drew it. I think after we boarded it out. But
we boarded down. I wanted to be more on the combo plan to see how it played out. Like I said, I have quite literally never claimed to be any sort of expert about current standard, and I will stand by not being one because I quite literally haven't played it other than this game. So
we did okay
you've
though.
seen it.
We lost to a poor matchup. It happens.
No,
Yes, we did it. What draws or decisions could we have made to have made that all to alter the flow of that game plan?
which standards am I an expert in?
Slayer Angel.
I was gonna say, like, if we go back 5 years, I've got a lot of expertise in those, but like that's quite some time ago. I haven't actually played Standard since Cawblade was a deck in the like. I guess I've played Standard after that, but I haven't played competitively since like the end of end of the Thragtusk era.
This looks like a. This is lands and Elvish Visionary. Like, what more do you need? Other than ways to win the game. Although I guess we have
Yeah.
one of those too. Basically, I could go either way on this hand. Are we on the draw? Yeah.
We're on the draw. This is gonna get my ass kicked. Let's keep it. All right.
Yeah!
So that's 6 lands coming right up. I know.
I'm gonna draw another Loam Dryad. Ooh.
No, like I know how this goes. I've kept this hand in limited like 6,000 times. There's only one way this goes.
Well, we kept the Shocker Dork, Shocker Dork. I'm actually completely fine with that.
So this is some sort of green-red ramp deck. I don't know which one right now. This is either the Goggles ramp or the like. I don't know if it's Goggles version or non. Like yeah, Tormenting Voice discarding. I think that tells me Goggles more likely, but I think both lists ran it.
It's fine, we have Westville Abbey. That wins the game on its own. You gotta believe.
I do believe, and I told you exactly what I believe in.
Well, I think you gotta believe in the power of goodness.
All right, so he gets 3 forests. I believe that the next 3 draws that I've already had 3 land draws, and I will continue to have more of them.
Listen. You gotta believe in the power of goodness.
Our 4 of 6.
We're going to play Coco, and like a million creatures are going to pop into play.
Hedron Archives. This is Brad Nelson's. I've finally not drawn a land.
See, now all we need to do is activate Westport Abbey 5 times, and we'll train our opponent for 5.
I got bad news for what my opponent's next turn is, though.
It's not going to be a Tarka or anything.
No, it's not. It's gonna be
like
World
It's not
Breaker.
going to be World Breaker. It's going to be Jack All. See? See? Our opponent's flooded. They're discarding the lands they got with Nissa's Pilgrimage.
What is this, Goggles, then? Or another Archive? Yeah, Goggles. And then we're gonna see draw 2, draw 4. Discarding a land. Oh no. What? Alright, buddy.
Okay. See, our opponent's kind of out. So are we, but that doesn't matter. Our opponent doesn't know that.
God.
No creature.
Nope.
They have sorcery, land, instant. See?
What is even happening here?
They have land and question mark. Yes! We're going to make it happen, gents.
Like, what is our opponent doing? Help!
It's going to happen. He's going to cast Tormenting Voice off of the... Okay.
They're drawing cards because they still have a Hedron Archive. I like their graveyard.
Yeah, now the Travers does. They cast that off the wrong thing!
Buddy! Buddy.
Oh, now they do it.
You know, like, what are you copying? Are you just like bolt me or something? Are you
They're gonna blaze.
Yeah, they're gonna do it again. Okay.
Okay, that's why they did it, because they had two. Because they had two.
Right. So yeah, they get to play the Yu-Gi-Oh game. That's the best word I have for when you're casting Tormenting Voice and Magnetic Insight over and over again. Like
they need a Sphinx's tutelage.
Like the way that's definitely 6 lands on top. Ain't gonna be that bad, right? Anyway, our opponent has like
at they sorcery speed their Drownyard Temple.
Give me it. What, probably like Duskwatch Recruiter and Catacomb Sifter?
Yeah. Cases could be made for like one of those being replaced by Visionary, but I think the Sifter and Duskwatch Recruiter are much more powerful.
I feel like we're still in a bit of a bad way because our opponent has too many cards in hand. No, it's like the reason I say that's the Yu-Gi-Oh setup is, of course, they've got the literal 4th copy of Fiery Impulse. Damn.
We get a scry.
All right.
Also, he shocked the bear when that could have bolted.
Well, he wanted the bear dead. Like that's the correct play.
Do we want Husk?
Sure. Well, not. Well, I don't even know if that's powerful enough to get us out of the hole we're in. Like, I think I need to dig for things more like Duskwatch Recruiter rather than
or
Husk. Yeah, I'm gonna bottom it because I need to dig for more relevant cards. I found them.
We found it! Time to make 1/1s!
Yeah, which isn't the way you beat, like, Double Blaze.
Nah, 9/7 Fly Flanker.
So he's out of fiery
Yeah.
impulses. At least he has used literally all 4 shocks, so that's good. Um, that does leave in this list. It leaves in the main deck. Yeah, I was gonna say Fall of the Titans. This deck does main deck Chandra 2x with a third on the board.
Hmm.
Where the hell was that aimed? He didn't double target.
You must have fucked it up.
Well, now he's gonna like
Here comes
murder.
Blaze.
No, yeah, he's gonna do it again, but this time, like he just missed a point of damage there. Anyway, yeah, here's x equals 8, so x equals 16. Let's put a cleric into play. I will pay the life.
I'll take the case.
I understand. I am like you've seen me piloting this. Sweet.
Keep. So our opponent's main phasing these.
Yeah.
Uh,
So I made the 1/1 there early, which got me the extra scry. Honestly I was more worried about card quality than trying to get to 5 creatures with Westvale Abbey because I'm not
yeah,
winning
the
if I don't.
Westfall Abbey doesn't. Yeah,
Anyway,
Westfall Abbey doesn't
he's
count.
burned 2 copies of Fall. There are 3 in the main.
So opponent has 4 cards in hand. Let's see if they can just murder
Chandra.
us.
Chandra is the most likely like murder us play. Okay.
They're digging.
Yeah. They need to find more Tormenting Voice / Magmatic Insight.
I think they have 2 of each left.
I actually don't think it plays 4 Magmatic Insight. It's only 3.
Hmm.
5.
Blaze.
No, it's another Goggles. Okay.
Okay. Wait. Okay.
Yeah.
He paid 5 mana to untap his goggles
Uh-huh.
because he didn't know it was legendary.
Well, now he does know. It's again a learning experience.
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah, I don't have to worry about.
Yeah, he's completely tapped. No more shocks.
All right.
Now we're getting places. Although we tapped wrong, so we can't activate the recruiter.
Yep. Go me.
That was one of the million things to be thinking about, though.
Huh. Yeah, both of us are making mistakes on the side here.
Do we want the sifter, or do we want enforcer? I mean, cutthroat, or do we want the sifter?
Thinking I want the
If
Zulaport
if we
Cutthroat.
if we pick cutthroat, we can play it and then activate Squatch Recruiter again. Whereas the other 2, we can merely play it and have nothing else.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with the Zulaport Cutthroat. Liliana's a good choice there too. I'm not going to activate the Dustwatch Recruiter until
Like his turn.
yeah. So this is 8 damage. It's not enough.
Uh-huh.
Okay, I actually picked the Zulaport Cutthroat for a very specific reason.
Yeah.
I don't want to get owned by a very, very specific card out of our opponent called Chandra.
A deal. Okay, he's going to follow this up with a World Breaker, right? Okay. Then Husk. If Husk eats the other creatures, he lives.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't copy it.
Yeah, I know.
because this only copies red.
It's not red.
I'm debating the odds on our opponent having Chandra and just killing me if I don't sack. You know what? Sure. If my opponent has the Chandra, I'll die to it, and that's fine.
But I mean, like, Zulaport, Cutthroat, and the other guy are dying anyways, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna let.
So there's no reason not to sack them.
Yeah, sitting here thinking, do I sack Husk to itself to get 7, to get up to 6, or to get up to 7 to avoid dying to Chandra? But
Uh, like we lose anyways, I think.
yeah, we lose to Chandra like board wiping anyways. Like the fact, so if he
I'm,
has
I'm thinking World Breaker, which oh,
sweet more lands, I might be able to just win here.
if we can get enough creatures up to Squatch Recruiter.
Yeah, I need like Blister Pod off of it.
Well, we got some activations.
That's enough.
I guess we can play Catacomb Sifter and Loam Dryad. That gives us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 damage on board.
I'm gonna do this one by one.
Wait, do we want to yield to Nantuko Husk?
In this instance, yes.
Okay. We'll reset in between games
Yes.
because we.
It will reset when the card leaves play. It's only yielding to that specific thing's activation.
Okay.
Wow.
Because that's
I
okay. We won because our opponent didn't know. Our opponent bricked and didn't know how to play with their cards.
Yeah, I was gonna say I felt like we were out of this one just because of how many cards our opponent saw, but we made it. Thank you, Husk. And yeah.
Look how many cards they saw, and they it was like a combination between bricking and uh, not knowing how to play. We made exactly one mistake.
I would
I
say
think
we made a mistake where I missed.
we missed an activation on Dusk Watch Recruiter.
And technically, making the 1/1 before the Fall of the Titans had resolved could have been like I wanted him to target it because I wanted more scries because I felt that digging was more important than the 1/1, but it just happened that Collected Company was the top card of our deck. Basically, I wanted us to find the high impact spells. Yeah.
So, do we have any boarding to make? Do we want to price as creatures or Wolfenwald Mysteries to kill dorks?
Well,
Do we want to
this
transgress the mind?
This card doesn't
deal
work. This card literally kills 0 creatures in their deck.
A Tarka and a colorless creature. Okay. Are they even playing a Tarka? Maybe
Yeah,
like one.
it's
Do we want
one.
Wolfenwald Mysteries?
Unvold Mysteries should be fine. What's bad?
Like if we like one for a Cryptolith, right? If we put in two, like both mysteries, it'd be like
I don't even know what I don't want. Like Transgress fails to me because it misses Fall of the Titans.
like the only thing of import it hits is like Keydrawn Archive and the goggles.
It hits their top end, and that's like not bad.
Yeah, and it does get rid of World Breaker. Like it exiles it.
Yeah, like I can see the mysteries just not being good because every time I think about like where it would be good, it's just not great. Let's
Don't
bring
care
out,
what LSB says. We both love Wolfenwald Mysteries.
I love it in limited. I'm gonna bring out like just some chaff cards for a couple transgresses. Like not like chaff, but like some filler stuff. Like even a right. I've yet to see the right do its thing. Trust me, I know exactly how much time I've got left.
Hmm.
Yeah, the transgresses do hit the top end. They miss like some of the cards I care about the most, but this looks nice.
This seems pretty fine.
Like I like this. I like
Forest on 2. Um,
this is Forest on 1, Cryptolith.
Forest on 1, I mean. Then 2, whether we play the Quagmire or the Cryptolith right on 2. Probably.
Fleshbag probably would have been a fine choice too because he only has like World Breaker and things. And then he's playing his good old discard 1 draw 2 plays.
Hmm.
Yeah, Fleshbag I think might be a good. You're correct on being a good idea for game 3.
We're not going to go to game 3. We're going to win.
I'm liking what I've got this time.
Got to have that positive attitude.
Well, there's a difference between like our last game and the game before that. Like there's a world of difference.
Tormenting Voice.
Discarding another Drownyard Temple, very nice.
He's getting there.
More good old Tormenting Voice, Magnetic.
He's making our top deck transgress better.
Let me go ahead and get the Cryptolith right down and attack for 1.
Go, Blister Pod, go! Yeah, Kavanaugh gets it. Power of positive thinking.
Well,
It was something taught to me by a Cyclopean giant named Tony Roberts.
and then this is Pilgrimage. Yep. So that puts him on a lot of lands hand.
Because he has the spell mastery.
Yep. I'm gonna go ahead and get Husk down.
Husk seems peachy.
Actually, Catacomb Sifter might be better.
If we want to attack with Husk next turn, we play Husk. If we want to filter, we play Sifter. We can't quite. Yeah, we can't quite play. We had a Zealport. We could play it as well, but we don't.
No, I'll get the Husk down. Husk is slightly better. I can save it from being killed pretty easily. This is the part that I can like. I was sitting here thinking like, do I want the Catacomb Sifter because that gives me more Cryptolith right mana? But like the Husk being down in play is a lot more important, and our opponent doesn't have like with Blister Pod in play and only 1 red is actually a bit more of the problem. Like they can't like double burn.
Bolt doesn't do it. Yeah.
Yeah, so like I'm just gonna.
Sad we have to eat the.
And I don't have to worry about like our opponent responding with something because they don't even have red up, so I don't have to like wait for a trigger to resolve sort of thing.
I don't like to sorcery speed their instants, don't I?
Well, yeah, I'm completely fine with that. I'm like, damn.
Oh yeah, I'm fine with it, but whether they should be fine with it or not, I guess is the
Ooh,
question.
nice. More sifters. Just get a sifter down.
We could play the other Sifter if you wanted to. Or play another Nantuga.
Yeah, actually, I kind of like playing second sifter. It's a bit like because it gets me a like a. Then I have to make sure I do the ability correctly here. It gets me a scry as well.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'll keep more sifters.
We did eat the Scion.
I did eat the Scion. I mean, yes,
We ate the Scion.
that is exactly why you should eat the other Scion.
Huh. Oh, what was Scryed? I was too busy.
I put a 3rd Catacomb Sifter on top.
3 Scry ones is not as good as. You got it, coach.
That does have spell mastery, right?
Yeah, that's
Is there
got
like a little thing that tells you that has spell mastery? There's not.
No, it doesn't.
Anyway,
Spell mastery is not a threshold.
yeah, I'm keeping the card on top because it's more Catacomb Sifting, because I like Catacomb Sifter right now, because it lets me scry into it. It's more bodies.
I would sort of like to draw like a Zealport Cutthroat or a Coco, but the Catacomb Sifter is just fine by itself.
Well, the thing is, the Catacomb Sifter lets me draw into,
It lets us control draws.
yeah, traverse the Uvenwald to grab a red source, I suppose.
Yeah. Now he's gonna do his Drownyard Temple, maybe?
Yeah,
Yep.
Drownir Temple, and then I'm just going to,
Mm.
I can attack for some damages here.
Get attack for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Yeah, I'm not going to do so because there's no point in. And I'm also going to play Second Husk though off of tapping this. Very careful. I'm just going to attack for 4 and set up for like a lethal strike next turn.
Mm-hmm.
Like he can World Breaker, but I like have double Husk so I can sidestep.
Yeah. Although if he World Breakers, doesn't Kozilek's return Zoop and
Yeah,
do a bunch of damage to our creatures?
Kozilek's return Zoops and I lose everything that isn't Husks. Both the Husks will live because there's 2 creatures for both.
Mm.
Which should be his play if it's in his hand.
There it is.
Okay, World Breaker. Yeah, so at this point I get to scry a billion cards is my thought process. You gonna put those on the stack? You're probably getting rid of the... Yep. So let's go ahead and... Now, one other thing our opponent should do is... and we'll always yield to these Catacomb. I don't want another Husk right now.
Do we want Liliana?
Not really. So... And then... Let the Husk ability resolve. I don't think I want Transgress either right now.
Nah, we don't want Transgress.
Nope. And now... I'm fine with a Cutthroat, I think. Am I fine
It's
with
a little
Cutthroat?
awkward. Like, we need something to go with it, but we do want it.
Yeah. I don't have any additional scries after this, so...
Mm-hmm.
Cancel. Allow that Husk to resolve. And then...
Yeah.
Now, what he should do is not trigger the Kozilek's return, because it's a May. But it's a May on resolution. Like, that's the biggest thing of it, is it's May on resolution, not May on cast.
Mm-hmm.
So, if he has another World Breaker, that's pretty good.
Yeah, I think we lose the game.
Yeah, he actually has things to ramp into this time, rather than, like, not things to ramp into like last time.
So we keep a Husk around.
Yes. And again, because he didn't trigger it last time, like he has it this time still to threaten. And he won't use it again this time either. Okay, he's getting rid of the rights. Yeah, and he didn't use it again because, again, there's a point. It would actually be bad for him. If he attacks with that World Breaker, I'm going to take my block. Okay. That's the card.
So we just wait around.
Yep.
Hopefully our opponent crushes in.
Hopefully they don't have third World Breaker, but you know. That is the card.
Things could go worse.
Alright, that is the card I needed to not be out of this game. No other card saves me. So let's find out what our opponent's got. I don't think they have shock.
See, he attacks. Yes.
Yes! No blockers! Nobody needs blockers. Blockers are fake. Fake. Okay,
Fake goggles or something. He's gonna blaze us. Post-combat Chandra.
okay. Was he just ditching his hand? Yeah. Sweet.
Okay, maybe we just get to Hadouken our opponent.
The possibilities are now open. Like, he literally dropped every single way he could have. He didn't even leave up red mana. Yes. He has no interaction with me.
No, he could make another Drown Yard Temple, which he's probably going to do.
He's probably
going
to do right now, yeah, because he has 2 in the yard. Okay, so this is it. This is the turn I need to win on, because everything past this is not gonna function. So this has got to be it.
Need blister pods.
Well,
okay. So we need another Coco.
5 lands off the top. No, that's 8. That ain't gonna do it.
So, do you want to hold Nantuko Husk back to block?
Yeah.
Man, that should have been like 4 blister pods.
The other draw I could have had right there to win would have been Liliana.
Liana. Yeah, Liana would have done.
X damage each creature. What's X? 2?
Yeah. Yeah, we could have killed Chandra. I'm just going to close the chat. You probably should too. I don't care what any of these people have to say. Attack. Oh, is this Matarka?
Fall. Oh no, it's another World Breaker! Yo, trigger that shit. Do it.
Do it.
Do it. Do it. Please. Please?
How much damage does it do?
5.
You don't read your cards, friend. You should do it.
Okay.
I don't know.
Anyway, this is what I would call the game.
Yeah, Coco no longer does it.
Yeah. Let's just move to 3.
Okay, so Fleshy in.
Yeah, Fleshbag Marauder can go in as a way to get around that. Still like Transgresses as ways to get that out of the way. I think Loam Dryad's out. Like, what do I not like in this match?
I think Loam Dryad or another Cryptolitherite. Maybe a Blister Pod.
I like what Cryptolitherite can do. Like with Duskwatch Recruiter.
Yeah, fair enough.
Let's run it back.
Yeah, let's ship it.
Okay.
Seems fine to me.
This looks decent. Could be better, could be worse.
If you draw a black source, it's delicious. I'm in a second black source.
Oh, yeah. Want to get that Dustwatch Recruiter down.
Would be nice.
This is round 2.
Is round 2, game 3.
Yo, you should shock that.
You should shock our guy. Okay.
I'm not gonna play Duskwatch Recruiter into that.
Just play another blister pod.
Yeah. That seems like, come on, buddy. Like, I know what shock is. Like, I ain't falling for that. And we play the Wastes so that we have the ability to.
Like Lily on 3.
Yeah.
Lily lives through shock. She's a 2/3.
And until it gets Spell Mastery, which it, requires our opponent to do Tormenting Voice stuff.
Tapped.
Tapped, eh?
Well, yeah, Cinderella has to be tapped, but not Game Trail.
Yeah. Okay, so this is Husk.
Husk seems fine. Guess we
Yeah.
attack first. In case of fire.
Mm-hmm. In case,
Sad
like,
that if he does force us to eat a blister pod, we can't cast a Squatch Recruiter. Green mana is hard. Let's just deal 20 damage with blister pod.
so like Kozilek's Return is like the best thing he can do here.
Yeah, that sort of suck. We eat a blister pod. Kozilek's Return kills a blister pod. Like, it kills the other one, but it doesn't get rid of the Scion.
I am fine with this outcome.
Yeah. Yeah, blister pod. Flying men. Fugitive Wizard is Flying Men if your opponent has no creatures.
Truth. Also, like, if he Kozilek's Returns here, like, I just eat this Scion and don't care.
Yeah, you eat the Scion and
I'm assuming this is... Oh, yeah, okay, alright. I'm
yeah.
gonna eat this Scion and not care.
we get a Scion. We get... Okay. The unkillable Nantuko Husk.
Alright. Wanted it to be a black source, but whatever. Duskwatch Recruiter is good here.
You get what you can take. Half card advantage. You gonna do something? Okay. You could activate Duskwatch Recruit, and then eat.
Eat Duskwatch Recruit.
That lets Nantuko Husk die to shock, but it draws you a card.
I think I'm okay with that occurrence. Because it draws me gas, too.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm fine with the outcome of losing to a shock. Because I'd like to get some more real cards going on here. I don't have a lot of gas left over.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Goodbye, Coco. And then we eat the Duskwatch Recruit.
Okay. Oh, excellent.
Alright. Still no double black, but...
Catacomb Sifter will help with that.
Yeah.
In fact, it might be worth hitting our opponent for 4 with Blister Pod to just get the scry.
I don't think the Blister Pod's the one I want to sack. It'd be the Eldrazi Scion.
Yeah, that's better.
Actually...
You thinking about hitting your opponent for a bunch of damage?
It's like 10. That's not lethal.
Yeah, we're not playing Burn.
Well, the other thing I'm thinking is, like, 5th creature gets me Ormondal, which just wins this match flat.
Yeah, he's a while off his land destruction. So we just don't do anything and hope to draw a black... Like, Ormondal, it costs 5 to actually flip him, right?
Yeah, 5 creatures and 5 mana. Is this like ramp? This is Pilgrimage? Alright. That puts our opponent on 6 lands with enough lands in hand to play World Breaker the turn after, which is a bit of a problem.
Bit awkward.
Okay. I want to stop on my upkeep.
We got to scry our draw.
Yeah. So we want. This is my upkeep, right? It's up on my turn. Yeah.
So we eat Blister Pod in case to Ormondal. Or do we eat Scion?
I'm gonna eat Scion.
Yeah,
Because
just
Ormondal's
because.
not happening here. We aren't getting 5 creatures and having the mana. But
Mhm.
if I get to cast Liliana, I should just win. Okay, that's got to go bottom.
We could get 3 scries here if we wanted them.
I'm taking them. Bottom. Tapped Black Source, bottom.
Let's see what we get. Other than hitting our opponent for 10.
Ah, son of a.
Wait, our opponent's dead. Make a token with Westville Abbey and attack our opponent for 14.
How?
Make a token for 5 mana and a life. 8, 9, 10, 11, that's 1. Okay, I
Yeah.
was 1 activation off.
Yeah.
Okay, we do that next turn then.
I'm.
Or maybe we just attack our opponent for 12 now.
Yeah, sure.
My good old off by ones.
I don't care about that. That's not gonna like. Basically, the way this game's going is either I lose my board next turn, or I don't. Like it's something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm putting my opponent to 1 and hoping to draw like a Zulaport Cutthroat.
Zulaport Cutthroat would do it.
I assume that my opponent's going to like wrath the board in some way. Oh, this is like Chandra. That's not gonna. It is gonna cut it. Okay.
We get a scry off this though.
Yeah.
Untapped black is far, far away. Do we want that?
Yeah, I do actually.
Like I recognize the fact that it sucks, but it's a body. It forces our opponent to produce a blocker or die. I guess that's one good thing about Westvale Abbey is the creatures it's making produce lethal threat now.
Yeah.
Like our opponent has to produce 2 blockers. Well, no, they have to produce a World Breaker because that would removal spell.
I would removal spell like the Westvale Abbey.
Because well, if he hopefully he would go to target the Hissing Quagmire, and then we do the trick where we make it not a land anymore.
Yeah. It has to be World Breaker, right? Like that's the only card that matters here, right? Like
Okay, here's Chandra. You can 6 us. No.
discard your hand and draw a new one.
When's a change, eh?
Nope. Okay. So he has to have double shock in hand to not lose. I don't believe you. I don't believe you drew 2 shocks off that.
There's 1 shock.
I don't believe you drew 2 shocks off that. I don't believe you.
If he goes to shock it, we can... Okay, he has to do it now.
Yeah, I don't believe you. There's no
Don't
way.
believe you.
I
Okay.
don't believe you. Like, I know in our first game our opponent had all of the shocks, but no, not this game.
Even though our opponent drew like 14 cards or whatever.
We've scryed like 1,000 cards too.
Yeah. I wonder what the land percentage of lands on the bottom of our deck is. I'm starting to dislike this deck, Jens.
Really.
It's not my flavor. I don't.
I'm feeling like I'm feeling like a couple misplays I've made, but that's like this is literally the first time I have,
This
you
is the
know,
first time we've played
I've
this deck
this is the
ever.
first time I've piloted this deck, and I never played the original Aristocrats deck, so this is like just getting the rust out on piloting it,
Yeah,
which
the closest, most recent experience we have with a deck like this is actually playing uh, Rise of the Eldrazi
Eldrazi Limited,
Limited with
yeah,
what is that vampire called?
Blood Throne.
Bloodthorn Vampire and
Like
the Pond of Ulamog. I
because
think
in
that
that
last.
game I can point to at least a mistake, like the I shouldn't have hit for 12, I should have hit for 10 instead.
Yeah,
That would have been strong. Like I shouldn't have activated the Ormondal land to make the cleric. I should have just attacked for 10 and passed, made the cleric in response to Chandra's minus, and then saved Nantuko Husk, and then I kill back.
was Chandra in play at that point?
No, Chandra wasn't in play, but
Yeah, we
I
should have foresaw our opponent having any sweeper spell.
right. Like I didn't need to go all in because I didn't kill. It's the Hearthstone thing. Like
Yeah,
you don't put your opponent to one. you
yeah.
know,
We were. I think we were enticed by the scry. We were.
I was still looking at Scry. This deck doesn't have. There was a turn where I didn't attack with a Scion. That was on a different game though. I'm talking
Yeah, there
specifically
was a where we missed attacking with a.
in this game. I don't think I missed a point of damage.
I don't recall it. It might have happened, but I
Because I
don't
think the
recall.
turn that I didn't attack with a Scion was that one was summoning sick, and the other one that I didn't attack with it, I used it for uh, mana. I could have though. I don't recall. There might have been a turn where I missed a point of damage, in which case that's on me. But again, it's I need to get the rust out on this deck, which I will never play again after this. But I get
Yeah,
to show it off. Coco is just as unreliable as I recall.
yeah. Like every single card in our deck except for Cryptolith Right and Land gets hit by it, and very often we get not much off of it. I recognize the card is super powerful though. There's a reason it's getting played with a
Right.
in modern.
It has the like it has almost like Hearthstone levels of like randomness to it. That's not normal for a Magic card, you know. Like it.
Yeah.
Anyway, I didn't fully explain what I was talking about earlier when I referred to the card draw our opponent plays as like Yu-Gi-Oh card draw.
It's
Um,
because I'm not. I wasn't thinking of Yu-Gi-Oh. You know what card I was thinking of, right?
what?
Professor Oak.
That's sort of the same. I'm thinking Yu-Gi-Oh because in a lot of the like different archetypes that are built in that game, all of them will have like their own specific card draw card that says discard a card of the whatever archetype you're playing, draw two. Always. There's all sorts of those. There's like for all sorts of different archetypes, there's like 20 different types of that specific card in that game, which is why I
Man,
bring it up.
I've played a shitload of Yu-Gi-Oh like 10 years ago, and I don't remember any of it. No, it must have been longer than because I was still living in Missouri, so that would have been
Mm.
like 14 years ago. I played the shit out of the GBA game.
Ah. It wasn't like a at the start of the game they didn't do that because they just printed Pot of Greed.
Yeah,
Like you just draw two cards.
man.
But
Is there a game more hit by counterfeiting than Yu-Gi-Oh? Like I've seen more fake Yu-Gi-Oh cards than like anything. Probably because spotting a fake Magic card's kind of hard.
yeah, like Benak brings up a good point. Yu-Gi-Oh 14 years ago is probably different from nowadays, which is completely true. Nowadays is like
Oh,
an
that's the same with hardly any
unrecognizable.
card game, but true, yeah. Not as much cycling your entire deck. Yeah, I've seen
Fake
Exodia. I've never seen a real Exodia. I've seen so many fake Exodia pieces.
I did I ever tell you the story of like the faker who came into the local card shop with a bunch of fake Magic cards and like got called on it and just fucking booked it like without
Yeah, you
taking
did. You've told me that story. I don't know if you've told the chat that story
yeah,
though.
it was pretty good. Yeah. I've seen so many real Yu-Gi-Oh cards that seem fake. Yeah.
True enough.
Irish nonsense, that's actually not any different than 14 years ago.
Yeah, that's the
And
same.
like that's literally unchanged, and I doubt that's changed at any point over the 14 years of the game. But no, the story is one of the people was working at the card shop, and this was after before M15, before the change to the cards. There were a lot of people that bring up that brought up like new fake cards. Like there were these like very convincing looking fakes that you had to look for some specific like mistext on copyright dates,
Yeah, like
odd things like
the
that.
font of the artist name
Yeah, that
was
sort of
one of them.
thing.
Yeah.
So this guy comes into the store with this guy comes into the store with a box of cards, and it's like a bunch of like real cards. Um, hell yes, hell yes, hell yes, hell yes. Thank you for posting that
I
important card.
For posterity, I linked Hungry Burger.
Um, came in with this box of like like there was a Goyf, a Force of Will in pretty good shape, which is wrong. Like
Yeah,
all these cards, and like the person at the was like takes a look at it and looks at the cards and like has been told about like these fakes, and because he's pretty well into he buys things for the store, he has to know this, and he takes a look, he's like he takes a look and realizes this is a fake and just says like, hey, I'm gonna have to like, we're gonna have to talk with the boss about this and see, like basically gives him like a little bit of a bullshit sort of thing. And like, you're just naming different types of blue eyes. What are you doing, Kavanaugh?
He's
Is he just naming every single different blue eyes? He's naming every
I think
single
he
different
is
blue
because I know
eyes.
Toon Dragon is an actual one,
Well,
and the
every
Ultimate Dragon is also an
every
actual
single card
one.
he's named is real.
Okay.
But like, and so the guy's reaction to like being told, oh well, I'm going to have to talk to the owner and do the thing about like for buying this, he just books it out the door without taking the cards.
If you do actually get a Force of Will, everyone watching, there's something you should do, and it's leave as much of your bloody palm print on it as you can.
Man, oh man, and yeah, there's no way Azure Eyes Silver Dragon exists. No, that's real. I want to say that's like a synchro.
Mhm.
The game has introduced that game has so many dumb mechanics. It's ridiculous.
They wouldn't be able to stop you from playing a bloody Force of Will so long as it was in a sleeve, right?
As long as there's different requirements for how like altered a card can be. It still needs to be like recognizably the card. Like
Mm.
it can't just be a handprint on an island and call it a Force of Will sort of thing.
No, if that was it, then it would be you just take a swamp because it's always swamp, and then you just write Force on it with a Sharpie.
Like Thermon, I am not going to explain what that means. Like I'm not going to explain anything about Yu-Gi-Oh. It's not worth it. Anyway, we got one match to go and to play against another interesting standard deck. I'm glad we got to play against the ramp deck though.
Yeah, Ramp Goggles is an interesting deck. Also, way to explain Yu-Gi-Oh is go look for that one draft Kaz had against the final boss of Cube,
Yeah,
and that's sort of is it.
sort of,
Uh,
kind of.
I have seen many big booby anime card alters. I don't know if they personally, if I was a floor judge, I would rule against that because there might be children watching, but
Yeah,
that's not actually real.
I was gonna say it's all basically on what the head judge says, and you're not going to get a consistent answer on that. There are consistent rules for what alters are legal as far as like how much of the card still needs to be recognizably the card. And I'm sure there's like tastefulness limits as well.
If you're running 1x of a foil card, I don't think they can call you on marking cards, especially if you're using sleeves.
Depends. Foils can be notoriously
They arc. Yeah.
arced, and if my 1x foil was a Tormod's Crypt on my sideboard, That sure looks a lot like cheating to me.
Mm.
Anyway, we got one more round to do, and I'm not the most on this. Yeah, old foils.
This
Like I used to play. Like I'm gonna keep this because it seems
is an iffier keep, but this is a acceptable keep.
Forest does not tell me enough about my opponent's deck. The fact that they didn't do anything on one tells me a little more. But wow, all right. What if I just have
What if
6,000 Nantuko husks?
What if insect turns against insect?
Yeah. All right. What if I just okay? I'll just bait out kill spells on my Nantuko husks.
That seems fine.
Is this a mirror? Or is
I don't
this...
think they can be the mirror.
It can.
Oh. It may be the mirror.
I know what they top deck, by the way.
I have a fair idea what they top decked.
All right, so in the mirror, the ultimate prices come in, and so do the Kalitas's. Yeah, this is the mirror.
This is the mirror. Okay. This is lame. I was hoping to find something weird for our last.
I was hoping to fight something just to see another deck in Standard rather than a deck we've already seen.
Also, it feels like we're going to lose.
Well, I feel pretty. Wow, where's your positivity now? What the fuck?
Well, my positivity died when I found out there could be the mirror.
Oh yeah, I found this out on the last one with the modern. Like I ran into the mirror. Oh boy, that's a lot of mana. Our opponent just went from turn 4 to turn 6.
It's like tops out at 4 though. Like they could do a Coco here and hit 6 lands. Okay. Okay, they found their way to kill us.
What's their final card in hand? Is it Zulaport? Oh no, it's another. Okay, so they get to scry for 6,000 years,
And deal a whole bunch of damage to us.
and we're gonna draw some cards, I suppose. I'm gonna play. I want to play Husk.
To what end? Just to block Nantuko Husk?
Well, here's the problem. That Husk is 2, 4, 6,
Yeah,
8,
we have to block
10,
his Husk.
12, 14, 16 points right now. And yeah, he's going to top deck Westvale and kill us anyway. It's fine.
I guess we're just playing a chump, right? That thing doesn't have
You know
trample.
what? I got this. We're passing. Oh man, this is a really bad plan, but I'm going to try it.
3/3.
Fall for my trap. Fall directly into my trap. I have a trap set up for you. Please accept my trap. Do you accept my trap? He accepts my trap.
Death touch.
Trap accepted. If you don't have a Husk, this board doesn't look nearly as impressive.
Also, our opponent is out of spells. Granted, they could just start attacking us.
Right. But like, because I have Crawling Horde Howler, like I've actually got the ability to just spam the board. It'll flip back, but I don't care. They put a card on top. Anyway, trap. Really happy about that one. So let's.
1 mana Visionary.
Yeah, I'm gonna go 1 mana Visionary because that's just free. Probably shouldn't have played the Swamp, I suppose, but that shouldn't change anything.
It shouldn't change much, especially since we're going to be playing.
I'm incredibly happy about the trap.
I guess if we do gum up the board, do we just serve with Nantuko Husk?
Do I just serve with Husk?
You could also serve with Kralin Horde Howler, but that just gets blocked by Blister Pod and Eldrazi Scion. Whereas Nantuko Husk threatens this entire board.
Yeah, let's go ahead and return the favor. He probably, like, chumps on this. Or maybe just takes 2. Yeah, okay.
Okay.
So he gets this. The reason I like this is because our opponent has already shown that they kept the card on top of their library.
They topped, so this is meaningless.
Right. So I just got a free kill, and then Mark Crown Horde Howler is going to flip back.
Which is actually okay. So that we could start maybe finding some stuff.
I'm so happy with the trap. I can't believe how good our trap was. Is this
They
another
mixed up
husk?
our duels.
Oh, it's collected
That's just
company. All right.
okay. Let's see what they get.
Blanks.
They're gonna brick.
Stone blanks. Stone. Ooh, okay, that's one good one. And that's also another good one. Okay. That's actually horrible.
Yeah, because they can draw a
And
card immediately, and they should.
we are in a bad zone because he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. A lot of mana.
He should be activating his guy.
I don't want to
His
stop on my
creatures-
upkeep. Oh boy. Hi. I'll block.
Block's going to occur.
I'm just gonna take the free ones. Actually,
You can trade Elvish Visionary for a Catacomb Sifter.
I'm gonna do it this way,
Yeah.
and then I'm gonna sack the Elvish Visionary to kill one of these sifters.
We take 2.
That's fine. Well, we take more than that. There's a Zooport Cutthroat in play.
Alright, yeah.
This is also a funky attack because they didn't leave up, like, they can't tap all their creatures to Duskwatch Recruit.
Mm-hmm.
Then
Maybe
again, as was said earlier, and I'm going to repeat this, like, these are difficult to pilot decks, and, like, yeah, there's going to be a lot of, like missed, you know.
It's weird because this deck contains both Cryptolith Rite, which gives the ability to the creature,
Mm-hmm.
and Loam Dryad, which doesn't. So you can... Yeah, they would have to sacrifice an Eldrazi Scion to,
Yeah, they can do that, and, like, I'm completely fine if they start sacking their board to make that happen, because... Alright, I think I'm going to... play this Visionary?
to see what we can get.
Yeah.
Forest would be okay. Other cool things should be cooler.
I don't actually care too much about playing that right now.
Could just be Blister Pod, or it could be another Nantuko Husk.
I'm thinking another Husk. The biggest issue is right now our opponent is able to just overrun me with...
With cards, yeah.
Maybe it is Blister Pod. Maybe that's right.
Blister Pod lets you start making very swingy attacks.
Alright, get that Duskwatch Recruiter involved in combat, please.
He's gonna make obvious blocks. Now, here's where he... How much damage can we deal to him? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. A merely 14. Do we want to deal damage to him at all, or do we just want to thin his board out some?
I kind of want to thin the board is all I'm aiming for here. Like, I was aiming for maybe that Scion block because that gets more things off the board. He can't activate the Duskwatch. I kind of wish I would have just freaking done nothing to flip it, but I need to get a board better than his. I could sack my Blister Pod to deal 4 damage and then sack the token to play a third Nantuko Husk, but I don't know what that accomplishes.
It puts another Grey Ogre in play. I guess
Yeah.
it puts a very effective blocker on the table. I don't want to talk you into making a bad play, though. Use your own discretion.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm gonna not do that because, man, like here's all the untapped black sources too. I also want to get this Loam Dryad down at some point just so I have more green.
More green and
Yeah.
more creature to kill.
Ravnok, that's exactly what I was thinking. Was when he played this Duskwatch, I just assumed he was gonna activate it like 3 times and then crush me with
Other
the card
cards.
advantage from it. But right now, I'm actually doing a good number of thinning out the Horde. And heck, he didn't even activate the Duskwatch recruit. Hell yes. Like,
And if he... Okay.
Oh boy.
Problems have occurred. He
1, 2,
can,
3, 4, 5.
he can 8 us right now.
8, 10, 12. and he's gonna start doing so to start getting things. I actually don't agree with that at all. Like unless he's going to be using this Duskwatch Recruit immediately, I don't think he should be like burning.
If he is, we should be tapping the Scions and then sacking them.
Yes.
But he just sacked that one.
He should be tapping them for green and then sacking them and then tapping them for green and then sacking them and then getting a billion creatures and kicking. There, he's figured it out. Shit. Shit.
Watching the stream, the Duboy.
hopefully he's learning how to play this deck.
Oh, fast.
All right, please attack with Duskwatch Recruit.
He's attacked with Zulaport cut through.
Oh my god. Yeah, let's do that. Actually, I could just trade my Duskwatch Recruit.
Are you gonna activate Duskwatch Recruit? We have another one in hand.
We have another one in hand. That's why I'm thinking that. I am incredibly happy for him to lose his creature that wins him the game immediately.
Okay, so
especially with him activating it. Okay, so the biggest issue now is that like next turn he can just lethal attack me.
So we need to draw our own Zulaport.
Okay, so I play Cryptolith Right into Duskwatch Recruiter and try to draw into my own Zulaport. Because I need Zulaport to not die here. Green. Give me that Zulaport. Whiff. That's likely game. If he realizes it.
You can play Loam Dryad at least.
That doesn't prevent me from using the Duskwatch Recruit again. I could cast Coco, but that wasn't a card in my hand.
Yeah, Duskwatch Recruit can only get creatures.
That was not a card in my hand. That was one of 3 non-creatures revealed to Duskwatch Recruit.
Mm-hmm.
So,
let's see if one of the many things our opponent fails to see is...
we're dead.
We have some heavy sideboarding to do.
Yeah, we're just dead to that, because we're going to take 10 damage to the sack. I'm going to hit F6.
Let him time himself out.
Yeah,
there was a Coco, but it was on the 3 revealed.
Yeah, it was on the 3 cards revealed from Duskwatch Recruit. I would have cast Coco immediately if it was in my hand, because that's 6 cards off. That's deeper than Duskwatch for cheaper than Duskwatch. Like, it's just better. Anyway, so this is happening. Uh-huh.
It's like looking at Kiki triggers.
Uh-huh. Okay, he figured out yield to all. And then, hi, Ormondal.
He actually has to attack us with Ormondal.
Which...
We went to 1.
Okay, anyway. Let's go
what kind of sideboarding? I think we won Tireless Tracker. Do we won Kalitas or not?
That's not even a question, buddy. Did you see how much we lost to that card the first time?
Okay, an opponent. I keep thinking it's just flat Leyline.
Holy hell, no, this is Leyline is opponent.
Or I keep thinking it's Rest in Peace then.
Oh god, no, the card's like good.
Rest in Peace is also good though.
But this card is like incredibly good.
What's out?
What's out? These are the cards I want in. I want an Ultimate Price. That was game 1. I want an Ultimate Price because I want to be able to kill Nantuko Husk / Zulaport Cutthroats on command, and I want in Kalitas for very, very obvious reasons.
Cryptolith Rights, like shitty mana.
I kind of like Cryptolith Rights in this matchup because it allows you for a much better for the ability to just overrun your opponent with advantage.
I'm just looking for cuts, man. Like
Elvish Visionary is the most filler card I can think of.
Yeah, Elvish Visionary. Do we want to flip lands at all? We're adding a lot of black.
We can't, so.
Oh, right. Right, sideboards are different. I'm too used to the Moto
I
interface.
know, I know.
So I have two cuts to make.
Loam Drieds. I think Blister Pod's more important. Like, I'm not cutting Zulaport / Husks.
Yeah.
Liliana is recursion. Catacomb Sifter is basically extra card. I don't know what the other two cuts should be correctly, so I'm going with my gut of Loam Dryads.
There's a case to be made. We've just made Coco worse, like considerably. But
Yes, that's actually a reasonable thought.
I cannot keep this hand.
Can't keep this hand. It's a one lander.
It's just
I can keep this. Yeah, that's fine. I do like having ultimate price card on top of my opponent.
yeah, we didn't have a ton of time to sideboard there. And we husk next turn.
Yeah. Which means we have like the full engine, but we need the we need
The
gas.
feed. Yeah, we need the machine gun.
You can attack me for one, I won't block. I
But
promise.
he doesn't want to get attacked for one.
I promise I won't attack for one. My opponent didn't believe me. What the heck?
Anyways, Grey Ogre go. Looking very familiar.
Yep, okay. That's
Alright.
a card I can't kill with. I actually can't ultimate price anything on that board, which is kind of funny.
Yeah.
Alright, we want to draw. I want Kalitas right now. That's a good one, too.
That's a fine card to draw.
Leave up ultimate price for one of the two high priority targets, or Kalitas. Kalitas being the third high priority target. Okay, Coco.
Let's see what Coco grabs.
Sorcery speed, too, to prevent this.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that was Loam Dryad and a whiff. Well,
So, 4 mana Loam Dryad.
welcome to Collected Company, everybody. That's kind of how the card functions sometimes. Gonna play Catacomb Sifter.
Seems strong. We get to keep holding up
Ultimate price.
Ultimate Price. We can activate Duskwatch Recruit if we want to.
Right, I could attack here, too, with Husk to start.
Husk seems like a safe attack. Just because of anything we have to eat, like gains us life and scries.
Yeah, I like the scrying off of it. He probably just takes 2 here. I'm not threatening lethal or anything. And I'm fine popping a Blister Pod, because that isn't actually a good card for like Liliana, for a lot of there's a lot of reasons to have Blister Pod in play.
It does give him the scry, but we're going to scry and then draw a card.
One other problem we have. Our opponent controls Westvale Abbey.
Yeah.
That is what I would consider a incredible issue at the moment. We don't race it.
Okay, we might ultimate price their Loam Dryad at some point.
I'm just sitting here thinking, let's pass it up. It's 5th land. They don't have the 5th creature, so they're not Collected Company. All right.
Can you whiff 2 in a row, buddy?
Okay, so they've got Ormondal on next turn. I'm killing that Zulaport Cutthroat.
Seems fine to me. You want to do it with the Catacomb Sifter or anything on the stack?
Mm-hmm. I also have Ormondal next turn, too, which is the funny thing. Like, if he Ormondal's, like...
We could Ormondal in response and they bounce off each other.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Okay.
So he gets to scry 2. I get to kill off Zulaport Cutthroat, so I'm super happy about it. Oh, he's gonna use mana for well, scries and damage. That's fine. Again, I'm fine with see the good thing there is that that's another creature off his board.
Yeah.
And Zulaport Cutthroat is enough of a threat that I'm willing to spend our spot removal on it. It's one of 3 cards I'm willing. I guess Dutch Watch Recruit I would be willing to spend spot removal on too in certain circumstances.
Yeah, if the tables were flipped, like they were hellbent and had a desk watch, that'd be worth doing.
Yeah.
So they finally found the card they wanted.
Yep.
Let's see if he has a use for that mana. Husk, another Zulaport.
Yeah, like what do you got at a hand?
Ultimate price.
Green. Cryptolithrites?
They can still warm it.
Another. I would say another Catacomb Sifter. Dang.
Yeah,
all right.
They can
so they literally can scry 6,000. Ah, the good old scry 6,000. Yes.
Okay, so now we just hold things up, right?
Yeah, I'm just gonna pass.
If he tries to Ormondal, we Ormondal. If nothing happens, we draw a bunch of cards.
Yeah, if nothing happens, we draw a bunch of cards. I can draw 3 if I want. Liliana, alright. Empty-handed. I'm fine with that because they don't have a real sack outlet. They actually can't flip that Liliana.
Well, yeah, they can't anymore. Well, they still can.
Well, they still could. They could use West. Yeah, I know. They could use West.
If they delete their entire board, yeah. They flipped Westville Alley. Dueling Devils, and then we just draw cards.
Oh, sweet. All right. Yo!
Okay.
Give me that.
Notably, we can take a hit from Ormondal.
Yeah. Well, more than that, we can...
Yeah, but I mean... If we put the pants down for a turn, we don't die, is what I'm saying.
Well, I mean, no, we can Zulaport Cutthroat to get our life total even. Oh my god. Alright. Anyway, we got some relevant cards.
What do we even do first? Sifter effectively costs 2 mana, but...
If I play Kalitas...
He has to Westvale Abbey in response, or he doesn't get the Liliana flip.
So let's get that down first. And then I still leave up Westvale Abbey here, too. Mm-hmm. Funnily enough.
Do we want to do anything else?
I don't think I need to do anything else. I think Kalitas is enough. Like what? Like Westvale Abbey's... Because the thing is, like, I have Zulaport Cutthroat plus... Yeah, okay, so he's just going to scry.
Scry 1 times 3.
I don't care about this trigger. I will always yield to him.
Mm-hmm.
Kalitas doesn't stop tokens. We saw that earlier, but the interaction matters right now.
But yeah, with the kind of removal we have, it doesn't matter. Like, it matters in Grasp of Darkness type effects where you don't yield to Nantuko Husk, but with this kind of shit, it doesn't matter.
Cast Cutthroat, sack a Scion, activate... No, because I wouldn't have the mana to activate the Abbey there. Because Kalitas came into play this turn, I would have 1, 2, 3, 4, and not enough for activation.
And we'd be
Meatlocker, you're close, Meatlocker. We're very close. Also, they could Ormondal and block our Ormondal, and we don't win. So there's a number of things preventing that line from working specifically. I just want to leave Ormondal up. I want that option.
Yeah, right? And we can still draw cards.
Oh,
I mean, he's
instead
going
of
for it.
yeah, instead of Kalidas, yes, we could have done that, but yeah, as you said, they can block the Ormondal, and we can't win because we didn't have enough creatures to die to that, and they also like. All right, so let's
Also, if he does make Ormondal, we get a bunch of zombies.
right. I'm doing
So
it this way because this prevents his own Zulaport Cutthroat from being an out. Wow, that was the card you kept. No, their Ormondal does not mean Liliana flips right now. Like it doesn't work with Kalidas in play.
no non-token creatures won't die. They. It looks like Ormondal's popping out of the box.
All right, so he gets the Catacomb Sifters. I get 3 zombies over here. I'm just gonna say yes and take 9.
Okay.
Like,
Because then we can attack with Cletus and Ormondal, and like, because we can sack the zombies to make Ormondal. Like, it's fine.
mm-hmm.
His Ormondal makes ours cheaper. It's free real estate.
Yep. This is definitely free real estate. Can I activate 2 Ormondals? No, that could mean I could. Legendary, though.
I mean, you could. Okay. Funny realizes what happened. Do we want to take out some Cocos, or do we want to?
What do we want?
What would we want to do?
What do we want in?
Transgress misses most cards, right?
Yeah, it misses too much for me to want it. It's not reliable enough, like, because look at this. Like, that's what it misses.
It would just be like Elvish Visionary or like maybe Tireless Track. I don't know, just something.
I'm gonna rock with what we've got right now. Like, yeah, Coco's slightly worse, but it's still just fine with 6, 14, 24 targets.
I think we can reliably get a thing off Coco.
Yeah, I don't hate
like
the
we
tracker there either, but... Oh, I'm willing to keep this.
I can keep this. The Cryptolith Rite makes it. It's effectively our
Yeah.
3rd land. Yeah, slow start out of our opponent.
Okay.
We just make like Cletus next turn.
Yeah, that's my plan. Or heck, even like Coco.
Coco or Catacomb Sifters just a ramp.
Yeah.
The Husk.
Let's get... Like, I assume my opponent boarded in the same as me and has the ultimate prices as well, which is why I want to go for, like, Collected Company instead.
That seems fine.
Yeah. I could go Catacomb Sifter as well. That gets me a lot of mana next turn.
That kind of seems better, but I don't know if that's actually better. What do you think?
Can I do both the turn after this is basically the question. Yes, I could.
Because we'll have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 mana next turn. Assuming we sack this Eldrazi Scion.
Let's avoid blood. I could play out the Zulaport Cutthroat, but I don't want to sack the Scion right now. Yeah, I like the Sifter. Like, because that gets me a lot of mana for the turn following this. Okay,
Coco may or may not get us a lot of mana. We'll see how it plays out. We will play it first, but...
Gonna take that hit.
Let's see if he decides to Hadouken us.
I assume not. Oh, well, I guess then. Yeah, I guess Scry 1. That's fine for what they've got. So yeah, my plan here is to play out Kalidas and also Collected Company. And we'll tap you for black. So the collected, this is actually pretty cool because I get to scry before the Collected Company too.
We get to scry, and we might chump a Nantuko Husk with
Okay.
if he attacks with Nantuko Husk, we
Like
chump it with
blister
Blister
pod.
Plot, get 2 scries.
No, it won't work that way because of how mana goes.
Mm. Well, it would scry if you actually traded the pod for it.
How
But
about
now
I? How
we
about I
just do
just?
it mid combat.
Yeah, let's
Yeah.
do it now.
Or wait, do you want to block first?
Block with the blister pod.
Yeah.
I guess it depends on what I think's coming down off of this. Well, I could do it right now and scry and yeah, let's just chump with the blister pod. I don't.
Yeah,
I have
like
enough of
we would want our own Nantuko Husk to pop out, right?
Yeah.
That seems kind of sketchy.
All right. So we. I'm gonna put that on bottom because we're cocoing.
As we're about to Coco.
Oh, sweet Liliana here. Blister pod's
Liliana
about-
gets to flip.
Yeah, Liliana just gets to flip, and here's Husk.
I guess Nantuko Husk was in the pile, but that's a bit silly.
So Liliana immediately gets to flip.
Blister Pod gets to come back.
Yeah, basically.
That is a lot of things to die, and we're about to play Zulaport Enforcer.
What's my opponent's life total?
16.
Are they dead?
Perhaps.
I think they're dead. I'm doing math in my head because I play Zulaport Cutthroat, I activate Ormondal, I sacrifice 5 non-Kalitas creatures, I get 5 points of life drain plus
9. That's
9.
14.
I think
We need to squeeze another damage in there somehow.
we get back Blister Pod and sack it to Nantuko Husk and do that sort of thing. Our opponent doesn't have black mana up, so they can't disrupt this.
Hooray, let's go for it.
So we don't need the Catacomb Sifter for that plan, and it's actually not useful to it, so we're putting it on bottom. Okay, so the play here is our opponent's at 16. I have...
We return Blister Pod to play, I think, is our first. No, we play Zulaport Cutthroat. Yeah.
play Zulaport Cutthroat. Return Blister Pod to play. Then I need to... Okay, and our opponent realizes.
Okay, our
we
opponent
realize. Yeah.
Alright.
They're not beating this. They don't have, like, a languish or something. And even if they did, I mean, they're dead right now. So I guess to fully run through the last play, since this is the last game of the event, I'd be winning because my opponent's at 16. I'd be flipping Westvale Abbey into a 9-power flyer and dealing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 points of life drain with Zulaport Cutthroat for a total of 17. My opponent doesn't have black mana up, which is the only thing that could actually disrupt.
Yeah, getting Lily off Coco. Like, Lily and any creature, really.
Liliana in the middle of combat there when there's already a creature about to die. Like, not that we needed it to be in that way because we already had Husk. Like, we just... But
But
perfect.
it bought us 2 creatures. It bought us the zombie, and it gave us... No, it gave us 3 creatures because it brought Build Blister Pod back.
So yeah, this is... I guess this game is actually one of the best ways to show off how Cryptolith Rite does... Like, because there's a lot of plays that are possible due to it. We also saw how Cryptolith Rite works in the game 1 of the mirror, though our opponent didn't use it. Like, there was a point where he played his Duskwatch Recruiter and had something like, I don't know, like 17,000 mana available to them.
Yeah, he had... I believe he had 3 activations. He could have tapped his scions, then sacked them to get three different scries, and
Right.
then activated Coco
Right.
with it. So he would have had a very controlled, three different very controlled Cocos just to refill off zero cards.
Yep.
But he seemed to go in on his Zoodleport Enforcer instead.
He went in on that in Westphal Abbey, which was enough for them to win game one because I did not have my own Zulaport Cutthroat to counter.
Hmm.
We also saw how this deck kind of has some problems dealing with specific spot removal. If you're able to kill off the key creatures, if you kill off the Husk, you kill off the Cutthroat, and Kalidas is in here for the board. Like, my board consists of, like, Hurloon Minotaur and a 1/1 and a 1/1. It's like, if you have actual spot removal, it's a lot more difficult to, at least from my experience, both watching and playing this, which you've seen all of the play.
There's Liliana for some kind of recursion, although you have to be plussing her to do that, and
Well, she starts on 3, so she can buy back a Zulaport Cutthroat for free, like for without dying, and she can buy back a Husk like for her life.
which is
Um,
basically you only really use Liliana like once or twice. Plussing her isn't that bad because you may have noticed this deck loves to dump its hand on the table.
yes, like especially like if I have this Duskwatch in play. So say I don't have Westvale Abbey here, like I play out this Duskwatch Recruiter, and then I have like what 2 activations of it to refill, and I could also like plus Liliana with the empty hand. Like there's a lot of like for how straightforward its combination is of Nantuko Husk plus Zulaport Cutthroat. There's a lot of moving pieces that keep this deck well greased.
Uh,
I
we
hope.
also got to see how jank Coco can be. I
Yeah.
reveal six off the top. I put them on the bottom of my library.
Yep.
I play Tobal Field Deed.
Well, you don't even reveal 6. You just look at them and go, "Nope."
Uh,
Bottom 6. But yeah, so that was this. I'm gonna keep kind of rambling about things until this actually finishes and we get our entry back. More just so I have, I can talk about standard and stuff while we're here.
sure.
What are your end thoughts on the deck? I know you said you were a bit, you were
I
losing
I
interest
kind
as
of
it
fell out
went.
of love with the deck because it's very inconsistent. It's pretty disruptible.
I
It is that classic LSV value, but it's just not my style of deck, I don't think.
I'm I kind of share some of those feelings in that the deck is a lot easier. Yeah, I mean, if you miss on Coco, you're putting like 6 lands on the bottom, and you just
Yeah,
go
you might
A plus.
you might, but you also might be like, okay, Kalidas, another Coco, Westvale Abbey, okay,
But
and
the I kind of agree with you with how this deck feels disruptible. Like it's very
like
like
if you don't have Zulaport Enforcer in play when they wrath, like you get the bad feels.
well, like language does a number on the deck. Spot removal on the key creatures, as long as you are able to identify them, does a lot on the deck. And I think a good like I'm going to bet that a good amount of the deck, like as far as its success goes, is the like players were not terribly familiar with it as a matchup. Like they were probably aware of it as a deck, but not how their own deck. Like I'm doubting that was something that was fully like yes, we need to test against this deck. Like it wasn't as known a quantity until afterwards.
I think there are definitely situations where Westvale Abbey is the card you need, and that's the situation where you have a bunch of Blister Pods and Elvish Visionaries in play and no way to win the game,
Yeah,
and you need to draw your Hadouken. And
Westvale Abbey is more of a Hail Mary in some senses, and in others, it's your finisher when you don't have Husk as a sack outlet. Like,
yeah, it's also like it
it's
doesn't fuck up your
unfreaking.
mana too much, and it makes tokens.
It's
Like,
ungoddamn killable. Like, I mean, it is actually killable. Like,
and there are two spells that do it reliably. Uh,
I remember in the Pro Tour, one of the control players just went cool. Grasp of Darkness, nice 7 toughness, indestructible creature.
yeah, like you can double Grasp of Darkness.
MLG horns go off. Like,
If you don't die to it, you can Declaration in Stone. If you're in white black, you can play Anguished Unmaking. Like there are ways to deal with it, but
yeah,
those are basically it. You
right.
have to kind of work to kill it.
I mean,
What are the
that's
rules
the
on
point.
flickering two-faced cards?
They come back on front.
So yeah, you could. That'd be funny to flicker it with the white Eldrazi. Like I
Yeah,
pay
but
five
I would
mana.
say people are saying Eldrazi Displacer. Reflector Mage off of like Coco also owns it.
Yeah,
Hey, we
if
got back our entry.
that's fine. That's
I'm
basically what we wanted out of
Yeah, I was
this.
gonna say this. I wanted to show off the deck. I wanted to talk a bit about Standard, and I wanted to have some fun playing Magic, and I got all three. Wing Clip. Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
Wingclip is definitely a
that's never hit.
all-star card of spells people play in their sideboards when they're desperate. Uh,
Anyway, the Standard Gauntlet. I'm glad I got to show that off. I wish I would have gotten. I wish in round 3 we would have got to see at least one more deck. Like I would have preferred to see like maybe one of the aggro decks.
yeah, I would have loved to have just been crushed by an
But
aggressive deck
but
there.
hopefully, yeah, I was gonna say hopefully you all got to see some of the parts of Magic I don't explore too often. You know, that's why I
Or,
like these gauntlets. Is that I'm basically always a limited player.
mhm.
Reflector Mage does crush everything. You are indeed correct. There's
But
like,
I actually wanted to see round 3 was Finkel's deck, so that we could see a person cast 6 mana, get 3 lands, gain 7 life.
Yeah,
Because of their 9 mana combo
I love
or
it.
whatever.
Yeah. Anyway, that's all for tonight. Thank you, Gnome, for joining on this.
Oh, it's a tradition to have me around for these events because I know very little about anything at all.
Mmm. And thank you everybody in the zoo. Hope you all enjoyed the Pro Tour Gauntlet.
Also, you need a positive force. You were the same negative Nancy back in Modern.
Look, I will be a positive force in games where we have a way out. I will not be in that. In game 2 against that dragon deck, nah. Anyway, good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
I mean, I am quite thankful that you were a positive